Hello and welcome back to the Linear Series. This is episode 8 and my name is Professor Adrivan. Today we're going to be solving what's called literal equations. We're going to do 3 examples. The 3 examples are on your screen now. If the problems that you're working on currently look like these 3 problems, then this is the correct video for you. Now with literal equations, we're typically given something where there's multiple variables and some numbers combined, and we're identified one variable that we want to solve for. So in this case, we're given this equation. Notice that there's x's and a's in it, and we're asked to solve specifically for x, meaning I want to write x equals something. And what x equals, unlike with linear equations that we've solved previously, x might equal something that isn't just a number. Now the process to get to the end is very much the same with what we've already done. We're going to move things across the equals by adding and subtracting or dividing, and we're going to distribute. Sometimes in the beginning we might have to deal with some fractions. We're going to use all the same skills that we've already done, but the answer might look a little different. So we've discussed a few times in this linear series that when we have parentheses in the problem, to look at the number in front. So in this case we have an 8 in front of the parentheses with an x minus a, and a 2 in front of the parenthesis with 2a minus x. We want to take both of these numbers and distribute them through their respective parentheses. Meaning I want to take the 8 and multiply it by both x and negative a, giving us 8x minus 8a. And we want to take the 2 and multiply it by 2a, which gives us 4a, and by the x, well the negative x, which gives us negative 2x. So remember, we're solving this for x, meaning everything that has an x we want on one side of the equals, and everything without an x we want on the other side. So this 8a that is currently with this 8x doesn't belong here. It does not have an x. So we want to move it. We move it by doing the opposite that it currently is. It's currently a negative. So we're going to add. Doing this leaves us with 8x on the left. And we now have 4 plus 8, or 12a on the left. And there's still a negative 2x on the right that we need to deal with. So I want to move this negative 2x to the left with the other x's. To do this, we're going to add 2x to both sides, giving us 10x on the left and 12a on the right. To finish isolating this x, we're going to divide both sides by 10, leaving us with x is equal to 12a over 10. Now we're not quite done. We have isolated the x, however, we need to simplify our answer. Because 12 and 10 share a common factor of 2, we can cancel that common factor out. So if we divide both 12 and 10 by 2, we're going to have 6 and 5. So this, 6a over 5, would be our final answer. Looking at our second example, we have the dreaded fraction, and we're trying to solve for y. Now the first thing that we should do is identify that there is the parentheses and the number in front, and we want to distribute that. So I have x is equal to 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times negative b is negative 3b. This is all over m. Now I want to get rid of this m because it does not have a y. To get rid of it when it's being divided, we need to do the opposite of division. We need to do multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by m. Now m times x, we can't do anything with that, so we're just going to write it as mx. On the right, we're left with a 3y minus a 3b. This negative 3b does not have any y's. We can move it to the other side of the equation by adding 3b, giving us mx plus 3b. There's no way to combine these, is equal to 3y. Now to get y by itself, we divide by the number in front of it, 3. So we have y is equal to this mx plus 3b over 3. Now we're going to go a step farther and simplify this completely. We're going to simplify it completely by taking both pieces of the top, the mx and the 3b, and write them individually as fractions, meaning y is equal to mx over 3 plus 3b over 3. I've broken the numerator apart into the sum of its two fractions, right? These both have a common denominator. We've broken the combined fraction apart into two fractions. The reason why we do this is because this 3b divided by 3 cancels. So we can instead have mx over 3 plus b. And this is our final answer. We have one more to do. So I'm trying to solve this for you and use on the bottom of a fraction. So this problem gets a little tricky. I'm still going to start the same way. If it doesn't have a u, I'm going to move it to the other side. So I'm going to take this 5 and move it to the other side by subtracting it. Y minus 5, we can't combine those in any way, so we're going to write it as y minus 5 is equal to 3 over 5u. Now, I'm going to do something a little strange. I'm going to take this u that's on the bottom and multiply it to both sides. And the reason why I want to do this is because if we get rid of the 3 and the 5, we'll be left with 1 over u. I don't want 1 over u, I want just u. So I need to get it out of the denominator and into the numerator. The easiest way to do that, this is definitely not the only way, but the easiest way is to multiply it to both sides, which cancels it from the right, but on the left we now have 5u times y minus 5 is equal to 3. Notice I'm not distributing this. That's because I don't want to put the u into multiple places. I want to leave it in that one place. So all of these things are being multiplied. The 5 is being multiplied by the u, and the u is being multiplied by this binomial in parentheses y minus 5. Because they're all being multiplied, I can divide the 5, and I can divide the y minus 5 across. It will cancel out the 5, and it will cancel out the y minus 5, and put it on the other side. This leaves us with just the u on the left and 3 over 5 times y minus 5 on the right. We could take an extra step if we want and distribute the 5 in and have 5y minus 25. Either answer is something that I would accept from my students. I would check with your teacher though and see which answer that they would rather have. That's it for this video. If you found it helpful, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. It means a lot to me. Good luck, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.